Greetings and welcome to Nathan Lyle Official. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and today I'm going to eat Japanese food while I talk about some TV shows I've been watching this week. First of all, this is completely separate from what I ordered, but since I knew I'd be getting some Japanese sushi today, I decided to try sake. I don't know why sake for the first time. It's a sparkling sake wine thingy, toasted coconut and almond. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's one of those things that, like, I saw it on the shelf and just on a whim was like, fuck it. Because, I figured I'm going to be doing sushi anyways, and though it might be a good idea to try this, like a Japanese drink with the Japanese food. As you can see, I already opened it just because I got tired of waiting. It's got such a weird flavor. It's like coconut, then sake, then almond, and it's like I like it initially, then I hate it, and then I love it. Weird aftertaste. I definitely don't think I'll be buying it again, but like I can finish it. It's good enough. Also, it has alcohol, which is I don't drink that often, and I'm at least slightly buzzed right now just because like I've drank like 2/3 of that can and don't have a single bite of food in me. So let's get to the meal, shall we? Got a couple different things. Hold on, let me pull this up because I just want to know what I'm saying. If you know what I'm saying. Ha ha ha. Of course. Well, while I take the time to pull this information up, let sorry, I've got Harry Potter on the thing. I've been third straight day watching it. It's funny because growing up, I never liked Harry Potter, and I've had people who get on me. Like one person stopped talking to me completely because I told her I didn't cry when Dumbledore died, which is mostly just for the mere fact that I never cared. Like I'm not. Is it good? Yeah, I've never been that invested. I tried reading one book. Like, I read the first chapter of the fifth book, Order of the Phoenix, when it first came out, just because, like, the movies were already out. It was a popular thing. But, like, I read the first chapter and decided I just wasn't that into it. And so yeah, I never got into. So it's one of those things that, like, I watched the first movie 3 times. I loved it. Every other movie after that, I watched it once just so I'd know what the hell my friends were talking about. But the older I get, the more I can develop an appreciation for it and how good some of these kids are, some of these actors, especially as they grow. You can tell the difference from movie to movie. Let's see. So, because one of the things I've got is seafood. Because I've got a bowl of soup. It's a seafood bowl. And it's got in here shrimp, salmon, scallops, kanikama crab, octopus, wakame seaweed, tofu, udon noodles, and green onions in a miso broth. It came with chopsticks. I will not be using those because, I don't need help making a fool of myself. I do a good enough job of that on my own. First, let's just taste this miso. Damn, that's good. Kind of just tastes like chicken soup. And I know a lot of people hate it. There are a lot of foodies out there who hate when people say, oh, it tastes like chicken. But it really does just taste like chicken broth. Shrimp, love it. Tastes like the rest of the soup. I think this is probably the tofu, maybe. Yep, definitely the tofu. Yeah, the meats taste just like the broth, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's a good noodle. Can't tell what this is. Is this the crab? Yeah, it's hard to distinguish some of these ingredients. I'm gonna assume crab. Ah, you see. Oh no, this is the tofu. So what was the other one? Was the other one the scallop? Either way, end of the day, tastes good. This is from Sushi. I don't know if y'all have that where you live. This soup is good though. It's bomb. Oh. Some thick ass noodles. Damn. And these are the mussels. It's not quite what I expected them to be. But honestly, I got these just because I haven't had mussels since I left Luke. And those were raw mussels. These seem to be cooked. Let me look at some of these ingredients on this menu here. That's gonna be close to the top. Hold on. So, there it is. Baked green mussels with spicy mayo and green onions topped off with eel sauce. Interesting. What the fuck is eel sauce? So yeah, let's try these. See what we got here. Is there a correct way to eat these? I'm just gonna just popped right out, didn't it? Interesting flavor. Gotta be honest, not loving it. Not hating it though. It's okay. Don't know if I'd order it again, but not sure it's quite worth the money. But it's decent. I enjoy it somewhat. Yeah, that is spicy too. Actually, that's one thing I was gonna talk about next. Anyways, have you ever seen? I'm sure you've all heard the name Voltron before. I had a special request to review it, and I've actually never seen it before. Voltron is one of those things that, like, I know about it. Of course, I know about it. Everyone knows about it. Like, everyone's heard the name Voltron, but no, I just never actually seen it. And so the thing that worried me was the mere fact that, you know, you have this show. I decided to start from the very beginning with the 80s cartoon, which, when you don't have nostalgia attached to it, hell, even when you do have the nostalgia factor attached to it, it's not always. You go back and see something from 20, 30 years ago and you realize it doesn't hold up. And so I went into there kind of knowing I might not like this, but still trying to be open to it. And I just gotta say, I'm sorry, but that show sucks. It really does. It just, my God, it sucks. I got a sushi sampler, which has, let's see, delicious assortment, including, I don't know which one is which, but it says tuna, salmon, yellowtail, octopus, and shrimp. I can tell this is shrimp. Is this octopus, maybe? If I had to guess, would maybe this tuna, this salmon? Maybe? Who knows, really? I don't eat sushi, which is why I tried it. I figure, gotta look at it at least once in my life, see if this is worth it. Whichever one this is. it's weird to me that people pay good money for this. That because it's a piece of fish, like a small slice of fish, that's laid on top of some rice. No, I've had sushi once in my life. It was a few years back. I went to someone's birthday party, and someone else that he invited, she brought some sushi with her, and I tried it. But I spent like half the party just killing the bean dip. There's someone bought Fritos and bean dip, so I just sat in the corner. So I just grabbed those, sat in the corner, and ate it all day. And then I grabbed a few sushi here and there, and I remember liking them, but not bad. Do people have dipping sauces with sushi? Is that a thing? And also they said you had to get a type of roll, and I got Philadelphia roll because it's the only one that didn't have avocado in it. At least it didn't list avocado, but I'm definitely seeing avocado here. Motherfuckers. I hate avocado. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. It's just, it does not taste good in my mouth. Annoying. That cucumber? No, that's definitely avocado. Let me see if I can pop this one out. And papaya! Bye, bitch! Did they actually give me the Philadelphia roll, or did they just decide on their own to do California instead? Because I specifically chose the Philadelphia roll, specifically because I didn't want avocado. So surprise, surprise when I open it and I see some fucking avocados. Oh. Not a fan of that. Picked something up, don't know what it is. I just put it in my mouth because it is food. So let's try this roll, whichever one it is. Honestly, compared to that slice of fish, there's very little flavor in that roll. So yeah, quick review. This soup is the bomb. Everything else, I could take it or leave it. But now I know. Anytime I go to Sushi, I'm just gonna get the damn seafood bowl. Because it's basically just chicken soup, but with seafood. I'm kind of torn. Part of me wants to save it for last because it's the best tasting thing, but because it tastes best, I want it now. I think I'm going to go with the mussels. There are some noodles here. What did it say about those noodles? Yeah. Come on. Doesn't say anything about the noodles. But anyways, I did watch Voltron. And you know what? It's hilarious. I mean, the show sucks, but I did love it for all the wrong reasons. I'm pretty sure that my enjoyment of it, my enjoyment of it was not the way the original creators intended. Oh, fuck is this? These onions? Huh. Wasn't expecting that crunch. But at the end of the day, the one good thing I can say after watching it is that I wanted to see it again. That's the most important thing. That I watched an episode of Voltron, and I found myself wanting to watch more. Sake is out. Where did I put? I grabbed the. Oh, I know what it is. Do I? Oh, uh, I grabbed the root beer out of the fridge because the sake was running low, and then as I was walking back, he knocked on the door, so I placed it down over there. But yeah, that's the one good thing I'll say about Voltron. It made me laugh, even though that might not have been the intention. It was hilarious. It was hilariously bad, and I wanted to watch again. Part of me wants to just see how they all differ. I think I might at least watch, maybe not this week, but at some point in time, watch the first episode of everything, because there are multiple different series for different generations, and so just seeing how those differ, and maybe also for the first series, watching it if I can find the subbed version, and then just to see how if the story differs when if there was something lost in translation, because there was just too much exposition for one. I mean, it was just the entire first episode was pretty much just needless exposition, because I think it was a 22-minute episode, and 20 minutes of it was just exposition. And I'm like, Kitty is excited. Also, why did two kids randomly have these weird accents? I don't get that. I just don't understand that part. It makes no damn sense to me. Now I see why they gave us a huge damn stack of napkins. This sushi thing is a messy business. I don't know if you can tell through the screen how... Oh, Jesus. If you can see through the screen how thick this stack of napkins is. Luckily, I've got a bunch of, rags and stuff that I use anyways. And all the napkins I get when I have food delivered, I kind of just use as tissue whenever I need to sneeze. Three! That's more like 2.5. But yeah, that's the thing that bothers me the most. Why did these two kids just randomly have a weird accent that makes no damn sense? And then I also watched the first episode of The Boys last night at 3 in the morning. Cause if you saw my last video, I went on Amazon. I found 3 charging cables that directly match the model number for the tablets I own, because I wanted to make sure I'm not wasting my money on something. And then it was free shipping with Amazon Prime, so it'll get here by Tuesday. And so I was like, sure, free trial. Let me just see what's on here. And The Boys, I've heard a lot of good things about it, and oh my god, that show is so fucked up in all the best ways and in all the worst ways. These superheroes are such horrible motherfuckers, but I think that's also what makes the show so good, because you're like, you know what, it's kind of injustice. How do you respond when the people who are supposed to be protecting you decide to attack you, kind of thing. They care more about the money and their public image than they do actually, protecting people. And once again, I harken back to Godzilla. I mean, they seem to be killing... It seems like they're killing more people than they save half the time. I mean, how much collateral damage are they taking? And everyone is just like, whatever. That no one... I don't want to spoil too much of it, but I can't explain it without spoiling the story. But all I can say is, I fucking love it. I'm definitely gonna watch more of it. Maybe not tonight, but probably at least 1 or 2 episodes before I go to bed. Because I'm watching more Harry Potter right now, and then as soon as this video is over, I'm actually turning to NBA TV to watch some WNBA games. And also something I've been watching more of is Star Trek. I've always been a big Star Trek fan. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish whatever these noodles are. I'm going to try. I mean, I pay for them. I'm going to put them in my mouth and chew. I'll see if I can actually swallow it all. But one thing for sure is that I want to know what happens next. You know, that's the most important part. I want to know what happens next. I want to see the next episode. You know, that shrimp is calling my name. Let me see that. Let me see it, girl. You know? The sushi is a good offset to those mussels. Those things spicy. And this thing is basically just rice and raw fish, which is very tame. It's a good counterbalance, counterweight. Yeah, but either one, I think both work. Alright. Just one more bite of seafood, man. It's calling my name. So fresh, so clean, baby. Why are the noodles so damn thick? Look how thick those things are, man. So yeah, Star Trek is one of those things, like, I grew up a Trekkie. My mom was a huge fan. One of the biggest things is just that I've seen all the movies. I've seen all the TV shows except Enterprise. I didn't even know that existed. The ones I grew up with were, like, I've started with in The Next Generation. But Voyager I probably stuck with longer. I saw Deep Space Nine, wasn't a fan of it back then. I like it a little more now, still not a huge fan of it. But yeah, no, the original series, like, I saw the movies, but I never saw the show itself. And if I had to say, looking at it now as an adult, the original series, damn, this soup is so damn good, man. If you have a sushi in your neighborhood, get down there and just eat that seafood soup, man. For real, though. But, so I'd say with Star Trek, my favorite is probably Next Generation. The original series is okay. I think it's got good storylines. The costumes and special effects. I mean, I think the show was out in the 60s, so for that time it was probably super amazing, but doesn't hold up that well in the year 2019. That being said, I still enjoy it. Good storylines, pretty cool acting. And then The Next Generation. It's amazing how little I remember about that. The only ones I remember are Picard and, of course, the two black ones, Worf and Geordi. Because that's probably the main reason I loved that show. Worf and Geordi were my niggas, though. Like, Geordi especially, like, that was the one I wanted to be. I wanted to have the visors. And I remember watching Reading Rainbow as a kid. The first time that's how I learned what acting was. Because I remember the first time they did an episode where they showed some behind the scenes from Star Trek, and they showed LeVar getting into costume, and I was like, wait a minute, that's him? They're the same guy? But Yeah, I remember Worf and Geordi, and of course everyone knows Picard, but the rest of them, it was all so shocking and new. But I love it, and I realize like why it is such a phenomenon. It's the thing about Star Trek it is it's a soap opera that just happens to be set in outer space. There's a lot of murder mystery. There's a lot of political stuff in there. There's like surprisingly small amount of actual fighting, physical violence, considering like when you look at the long history of it. And one thing watching the Next Generation, I never once like I didn't realize that for some they actually tried to make the Ferengi like villains, which is just hilarious to me because I grew up with watching Quark, so like the fact that someone would think this was even a good idea for a villain. But yeah, the one thing though, watching Deep Space Nine, like I don't remember why I didn't like it as a kid. I can tell you why I don't like it now. Just because, well, for one thing, I don't like O'Brien. Like I don't know. There's something about him that just bugs me. I'm not a big O'Brien fan. And the Doctor, honestly, he just bugs me. The Doctor just bugs me. Like I'm glad Worf is there. I think maybe I didn't know Worf had been on that show. I think probably just because I didn't stick around long enough to actually see him show up. But yeah, Deep Space Nine. I don't think I'll be sticking with for the long term. It'll be one of those things that like, oh, it's on, sure, I'll watch it. But oh shit, time's up. I gotta hurry. So, but yeah, I don't think I'll be sticking with Deep Space Nine. But like Voyager and Next Generation, the ones that I kind of grew up with, anyways. I think I'm always gonna be happy to see those. And then, but the one thing that I'm noticing about Voyager as I get older, like I don't like Janeway. I mean, I have fond memories of her, especially like Harry and Balana 709 especially. That was one of my childhood crushes. But Janeway, I remember loving her as a kid, but watching her now, I can't stand her. There are too many instances where she is putting her own personal morality over the safety of the crew and welfare of the crew. Your first priority should always be protecting the ship. And I think to some degree there's something to be said about the choices she makes. What good is winning if you lose your heart? But at the same time, what good is a dead heart? And I think it's a fine line that a lot of people in her position would have to walk. And at the end of the day, most of the time the crew comes out okay. So, yeah, and Enterprise, I hated it. First time I saw it, I hated it. I'm like, what is this shit? But the more I watch it, the further I go along in the series, the more it starts to grow on me. And I've become accustomed to it. I've learned to accept it. It's pretty good. And I haven't seen Discovery, but like watching all of these is making me want to check them out again. And I definitely, I think we all saw the trailer for Picard. I definitely plan on checking that out at some point in time. But yeah, until then, that's my review. Sushi. That seafood soup, bomb ass, man. Get yourself that seafood soup. Mussels, they're okay, but they're not worth the money. The sushi, if you're into it, I guess it's fine. And if you want to buy yourself some sake, I guess I feel like it's probably just one of those acquired tastes, either you're into it or not. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with root beer for the rest of the night. Don't worry about the straw. I've had the straw for at least 2 weeks now, maybe 4. I don't even remember. It's not technically a reusable straw, but here's the thing. If you wash it every time you use it, anything can be reusable. I have water bottles in the fridge that I've had since I first moved here, okay? Hell, I think 2 of them are from before I moved here. Is it gross? Maybe, but I'm the only one using them, so fuck it. I'll be gross. So, next video I put up is gonna be, tomorrow for me, Friday for you. I'm gonna be cleaning out my closet, just gonna empty all the clothes out, show you everything I have, and just decide on the spot. Like, do I have fond memories of this? No, it's gone. But, so yeah, stay tuned, and until then, this has been Nathan Nile Official. I am your host, Nathan Nile. You have a great day, great week. I mean, this does taste good. It's just not worth the effort, and it's too spicy. Damn it, turn off.